Today we have this delicious and easy to make 15-minute recipe. It has couscous, shrimp, peas, and a very easy to make sauce. So if you're ready to pull out your basic ass cooking skills, this is the one for you to make. Okay, y'all, so today I have an idea for a dish. This is kind of disorganized, but I have an idea and I want to see if it'll work. And I thought I would totally record it in case it is tasty. So I bought these shrimp yesterday at the Whole Foods. They were on sale. This is how we make Whole Foods cheaper. We go and look for sale stuff. So this is some jumbo shell on white shrimp, 16-20 count. So I am going to use these, and then I have some garlic. I have some tricolor couscous. Couscous is like teeny little pasta. Yeah, so teeny little pasta. And then I'm going to, hold on. This is gonna be basic. This is basic ass cooking. Welcome if you've never been here. So this, I'm gonna just use some salt, of course, and some pepper. And I might cut up a piece of onion, but I also might just use onion powder. I'm feeling like just the onion powder. And for a sauce, so this is like, okay, we're gonna put this stuff together, but we need a sauce. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I have this block that I need to use up before it decides to go bad. And then I have some fresh garlic. I love fresh garlic, isn't it? It's like the best thing ever. And then I have some creme fraiche, which I also need to use up. And then I have some peas. So I'm thinking like a little shrimp pasta situation, and then we'll stir in some creme fraiche and a little bit of Parmesan, basically some dairy, to make it into like a creamy pasta kind of situation. I have never done this, but I'm feeling a little inspired. So let's try. First thing I'm going to do is start the water to cook the couscous, because it says it cooks in like 15 minutes or less or something. So this is basically the hardest part of this, I think. So let's do that first. So in the background here, I have put my water on to boil. Does anybody else have a stove where like only like 2 or 3 of the burners work? So I am going to use this one. This one works the best and gets hot quickly. So now moving on to this situation. So I think I actually will cut up a little bit of onion. Let's do that. I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon and a half. And now I'm going to chop up a quarter of this big ass onion. This is either a yellow onion or a Vidalia onion. It's probably just a yellow onion. All right, so here's my onion, and I'm going to put it into the pan. And because my burner works just barely, it's not even hot. I'm going to wrap up the rest of my onion. I'm going to put in a little bit of salt here over my onions to let them start going. And I think that I maybe need to move to this burner because this one is just not even trying today, honestly. So I'm just gonna move it over and hope that it starts to get hot. So this pot, the water is boiling. So I am going to take some salt. This is pasta, actually, like I said before. So we're gonna treat it like pasta and heavily salt the water. And I'm only going to make 1 serving of this in case it's terrible. So it says 1 serving is 1/3 of a cup. So I have my little cute 1/3 of a cup. Putting it into the salted water. You know what we should also do is to also add in a chicken bouillon cube for a little extra flavor. You want the flavor? So I actually have a half one of these. So this is a chicken flavor bouillon cube. I get these from Target. These are dirt cheap and they are very good for adding some flavor. These are like less than $2 for this whole little pack of 8. Can you believe that? Everything's so expensive nowadays. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little chicken cube thing and just drop it into the water. I would say just use a half, or if you're making more of the couscous, you can use a whole one. I forgot to mention that these are little tricolor couscous. So they're like white and orange and green. So cute. So now my onions are finally starting to make some noise, literally, because I put the pot on the burner that works properly. So we're just sauteing these onions until they get soft, and the salt helps to move along this process. Moving back over here, I am now going to devein my shrimp. So this shrimp is not deveined and it still has the shells on it. Well, I don't think, let's see. No, so these are not deveined. So what you can do, use a smaller knife than this. I'm just using this knife because I don't want extra stuff to clean up. You take your shrimp, and then this has the tail and the shell already on it. So from this part where the little feet are, I pull and pull, and usually the shell part will detach itself from the tail. So I just pull it off and around like that, and then for the tail, if you pinch just like right here, it just comes off. So if you also have like shrimp that you're eating that's cooked and you want to get the tail off, if you pinch right there, it'll also come off. And then the back is where the intestinal tract is located. So you just run your knife along the back and open it up. And then I do that and just take them all to the sink at the same time and rinse out the intestinal tract. I turn my onions off because now they are going too quickly. There is no Goldilocks situation with this stove, apparently. Nothing is just right, apparently. So I'm going to continue to prepare my shrimp, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have all of my little cleaned shrimp. So I am going to cut them in half like this. And by cleaned, you can just see that the intestinal tract has been removed. I'm going to put the shrimp to the side, and now I'm going to chop some garlic. And like I mentioned, I have turned off the fire from my onions because they don't need that long to cook. They are soft, so now they're just waiting. So I'm going to use 4 cloves of garlic. I forgot to mention these little shrimpy bits, you can actually save them and make like a little shrimp stock. So you can put them in a freezer bag and put them into any kind of like seafood dish. I used to make this thing called, it was kind of like a cross between a jambalaya and an etouffee. And I would save my shrimp shells for a little bit, and then when it was time to make that dish, instead of going to the store to buy shrimp stock, I would just boil up my little shrimpy parts. And I would have my own little homemade shrimp stock. So Try not to waste if you can, especially something kind of easy. You can just throw them in the freezer. Okay, moving back over here to my onions, I'm going to start to build the sauce. So you can see they got a little bit too dark, but I am going to add some butter to try to build the sauce. So I've turned the heat back up, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of butter. So that's starting to melt. I'm now going to add maybe about an equal amount of the creme fraiche. So you could also use sour cream. So we will let these two things come together in the pan. Now I'm going to add my chopped up garlic and let that cook until it is fragrant. I'm going to now add some freshly ground black pepper, and I'm going to add some peas. This is about 2/3 of a cup of peas. Little frozen peas, aren't they so pretty? Even though I added raw onion, I am going to add just a little bit of onion powder. And I see that things are a little dry, so I'm just going to take my measuring cup and put a little bit of the pasta, the couscous water in here to let things keep going but not overcook. I'm using the couscous water because it has a little bit of starch in it, and that will help to thicken up the sauce. So we're gonna do a tiny bit more salt, just like a pinch, just teeny bit, and then some onion powder, just a little bit. This is only 1 serving. And then garlic powder. Stir that in. The couscous is almost ready, so I am going to add in the shrimp and stir it around, and add just a little bit more salt and pepper. And as you probably know, shrimp cooks like lightning fast. So we just toss it a little bit. And while it cooks, I'm going to drain my couscous. So I have my drained couscous, and I'm just going to add it and stir things together. Oh my gosh, how pretty. This is so pretty. I'm going to let it cook a little bit just so the consistency of the sauce kind of gets to where I want it to be. And I will show you the plating up here in a second. Okay, it is time to plate it up. It smells fantastic and it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, wrong camera angle. This is a generous portion, I would say. I am currently trying to become more healthy and lose weight. So I think that this is a good portion. So I am going to take my block of Parmesan and just grate some over. This smells fantastic. Just look at how perfectly cooked the shrimp are. I'm very proud of that. And this came together basically in the time that it took to cook the pearl couscous. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's called pearl couscous. Regular couscous is smaller, so that's why I'm just mentioning that. Okay, so how fantastic is this? I am very impressed with this. And just for the camera, I'm going to add a little bit of dried chives just to make it pretty. How pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So you don't have to do that last step. That's just to make it look pretty for the YouTube. Okay, so at the beginning of this video, you heard me talk about what this tastes like. So I hope that you enjoy, and I hope you have a great day. Make sure to subscribe for more basic as recipes. See you later.